What's good, YouTube? Swiftly here, back with another NBA 2K26 video. Today's video, clearly as you can see on your screen, bring you guys another episode of Rare Builds. Today's video, we're going to be making a versatile scorer. Now, obviously, you can play around with this build, any positions, point guard, shooting guard, small forward. Specifically, I went with a PG just because we're going to be going a little high on the shooting on a build like this. So because of that, I kind of wanted to have the extra badge of being 6'3" and being able to get many marksmen and whatnot. But personally, if I was going to make this build, depends. I would really fight with myself between going between 6'3" and 6'4". As you guys know, in previous videos, I tell you guys all the time that this year I personally would not dip below 6'4", but on a high, shooting build like this, I might be willing to dip down to 6'3". But if I go down 6'3", I'm gonna have to try to make up with that for the defense and whatnot. But really, you should be shooting for 6'4", and to me personally, even 6'4" is kind of, on the short side. If you're going, you could get away with 6'4" at PG, but anything else, shooting guard and stuff like that, you kind of just really can't do that because there's just so many 6'7" and 6'8" and 6'6" running around that will really have that advantage on you. But for the sake of this video, I went 6'3". I left the weight default 198, and then I also left the wingspan default. Now, if you want this build to have 99 mid-range or whatever like that, you can bring your wingspan down. If you want 99.3, you could bring your wingspan all the way down to 6'3". If you just want 99 midi for the badges or whatever, most of the badges like set shot and all of that stuff, you can go 6'4" for the 99 mid-range. But I went 6'6" just so I could have, decent contesting and whatnot on defense, the defensive side of things or whatever. Also like rebounding as well too. Because people always like having longer wingspans. They feel like they play better defense. You'll also be able to tip more passes and whatnot like that. Reach better, for those reach steals. So that's how I went 6'6". But again, like I said, you can always drop this a little bit if you want, just so you can get 99 midi or 99.3 if you want to tweak the build to your liking. Now for this build, I went 76 on the close shot. We went 75 on the drive and layup. We went 78 on the drive and dunk. And then for the standing, we are at a 51 max. And then for the post control, we do have an 80. Now, I wanted to play around with this build, and I went 80. And of course, you do have to put post control on the build if you want the name versatile scorer. You're not going to get the name versatile scorer if you don't have post control on this build. I tweaked it around, and I wasn't able to get the name without having some type of post control on this build. And 80, because we're going to have a really high mid-range, 80 post control is going to help you with getting that post fade phenom badge, on a higher level as well too. So that's another reason why I wanted to play around with the build that gets like, pretty high post for a guard. And it's also really good because most people really do not expect you to shoot out of the post. Like whenever I post up, I have a 6'7" with a 79 post control. I have like a 65, I think, on my 7'1" center, and dudes just never expect me to post up. Even with a 65 on my center, I will post up and then post fade out of that. They're expecting me to post spin or the drop step, and then I hit them with that, Luka Doncic post fade, and they're like, oh, they're just completely frozen because they're not really used to seeing people shoot post fades like that. But I know they tweak the fades, the fade in threes and whatnot, but the post fade, the midi fades are still money in this game. So definitely something to look for if you're looking for another way to, add scoring or just another level of scoring to your game. For shooting, we're going with a 91 midi, and then for three, we're going with a 92. Now, obviously, I'm just shaving off a point because we will be going with shooting specialization on this build. At least if I make this build, I will go with shooting specialization, and one of those cap breakers will get thrown onto our three ball, so we can get Hall of Fame set shot. And then I plan to use, that +1 that we get for our shooting specialization. That +1 will go to set shot specialist. So from a Hall of Fame that you see that we get at a 93 midi or a 95 three ball, we'll have that with our mid range, obviously. But the 93, the +1 will go to limitless range gold. So we will +2 that, which will get us, legend limitless, and then we will +1 set shot, because that mid range is going to go all the way up to like a 95 or 96, depending on how high you want to get it. And then that +1 from Hall of Fame set shot will go up to legend set shot. So you're looking at legend, limitless range, and legend set shot. Or you can just go +1 for set shot and then go +2 for dead eye or whatever, if you want to do dead eye, or +1 dead eye if you feel like you really need dead eye. I've personally been rocking Hall of Fame dead eye for the most part, but I do have legend on my 7-1. But again, like I said, I play around with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just what I would do. And then for the free throw, I just went crazy and just maxed out the free throw. Free throws are green or miss this year, so you kind of want to have a decent free throw, at least like an 80, so you can consistently knock down your shots. There are going to be people that say that they can knock down their shot with a 50 free throw or 60, but trust me, I've seen tons of people, with no free throw, and they brick their free throws. I've seen dudes come in, especially when they was doing that bingo blackout thing, trying to get the and one for the free throw. So many dudes that actually drew the foul, got the and one, but then missed the free throw because they got a 60 free throw on their build. So no, you definitely want at least like a 75 or 80 free throw so you can consistently knock down your shot. Obviously, a good animation is the most important thing for you to time your shot, but you definitely want a decent free throw. 99 will be making sure that you always get to shoot the technical free throws in fives, whether you're playing pro-am, proving ground fives, or just squad or solo rec. A 99 free throw pretty much guarantees you'll be shooting a free throw. I got like an 87 on my 7-1, and it's like 50-50 on whether I'm shooting a free throw or not. A lot of lobbies I shoot the free throws, and higher tier lobbies, like my big is purple plate, I rarely shoot the free throws in those lobbies. But on lower lobbies like silver, gold, bronze, whatever, I was always shooting a free throw because nobody really was putting free throw on their builds or whatever. So, take that into consideration when making your build. Moving on, though, for playmaking, we're going with a 78 on the pass accuracy, 86 on the ball handle, and then 86 with the speed with ball. And then for our defense, we're looking at 65 on the interior defense, 74 on the perimeter, which is going to get us those bronze badges on the perimeter, 65 interior defense. For our steal, we're going with a 73. And then for our block, we're going all the way up with a 60. Now, the reason why I did this is because I wanted to be able to block shots. I wanted to be able to get a little bit better contest. We're obviously going to cap break our perimeter defense so that we have better defense, because I just told you that, we're definitely going to make sure that we bolster our defense with a build that's only 6'3". But I went with block because block is going to help you with jump contests when you jump at people. Obviously, the steal to get that interceptor. If we want a +1 or +2 for gold or Hall of Fame, we can do that as well too. Same thing with glove. Even though they patch steals, I feel like reaching steals just still isn't as good as they used to be, which I'm fine with because I was tired of people always spamming. But I think steals are in a good place right now, especially with the passing lane steals. It feels fair. It doesn't feel overtuned or overpowered like it did last year or 24, where people were terrified of passing the ball because they knew that they were probably going to throw a turnover. This year it feels fair, so 73 steal, silver interceptor, bronze glove. You can +1 or +2 either one of these. Personally, I would +1 for gold interceptor, but that's just me. 65 interior defense, just so that you have a fighting chance on the off chance that you do get matched up against a 6'4", a 6'5", a 6'6". You'll be able to have a fighting chance of getting a contest on them down low in the paint. You don't want to be completely helpless, at least not me. I don't like being completely helpless, and more importantly, I hate when my man scores on me. Nothing boils my blood more than when people score on me, so I like to have defense on all my builds, even if it's just minor defense. Remember, all of these things are upgradable. I'm gonna back out just so you can see. You can get up to a 70 plus interior defense. You can get up to a 99 perimeter, 99 still on the build like this. Obviously not with cap breakers, but you know, our cap breaker is going to get us up there into the 80s when it comes to steal, perimeter, and all of that. And then you can still get up into the 70s with interior defense. So you're not completely helpless on the defensive side of things. For rebounding, nothing crazy. I went with the 60 on the D board, and the reason why I went with the 60 on the D board is because you guys all see it if you play this game. Everybody's at the 3-point line. All the bigs are sitting there camping at the 3-point line. There's not going to really be any bigs in the paint, so everybody should have rebounding on their build. There's absolutely no reason why a guard, shooting guard, small forward, I don't give a shit what your position is. You should have rebounding in this game because the bigs are going to be depending on you to rebound the ball, because 9 times out of 10, the big is going to be holding a 7'4", a 7'1", a 7-footer, a 6'11", a 6'10", a 6'9". He's going to be holding down some type of big that can shoot the 3 ball. So he's not going to be able to just sit paint or run to the paint. And if he's not quick, he's not going to be able to get from the 3-point line into the paint to grab the rebound as well too, okay? Like, I've seen some 7'1", 7'2", 7'4s. They're not quick enough to get from the 3-point line to get into the paint to get the rebound. They're just not. It's just not going to happen. They don't have the speed or the agility to do that, so you need to keep that in mind. So that's why I went with the 60D board. Gives you bronze rebound chaser, bronze box out beast. You'll be able to do something. And then if you have to cap breaker. If you have to +1 it or +2 it, not that I would ever recommend that, but you have that option. You at least have the badge to do that, you know, which is going to increase, you know, your ability to rebound the ball. And then finally we have our physicals, we have 86 speed. We have an 85 on the agility, which I recommend as a guard. You don't go anything below 85. And then for our strength, we're looking at a 73 on the strength. And then for the vertical, we're looking at a 71 on the vertical. So this is what our build is looking like completely. Then, of course, we create our build. You see our shades up. We see Hershey Hawkins. We see Damian Lillard. And we see Scott Skiles all-time, who I think has the record for most assists in the game, if I'm not mistaken, 30, 31 assists, something like that. So you see our archetype, versatile scorer, go-to badges, dead-eye, shifty shooter, set shot, top attributes, free throw 3, mid-range. Strengths are consistent shooter from deep, money mid-range scorer, faster than most opponents, explosive with the ball in hand. And weaknesses, no big weaknesses to report. So this build doesn't even really have any weaknesses to report. And then, of course, we're going to advance just so that we can see our full potential, because this build can get better with cap breakers. You know, as I always tell you guys in these videos, you can always make a build like this much better. So I'm going to quickly hop into our attributes, and then you see right now I got 8 cap breakers available. I have 10 if I pick shooting specialization, which I guess for the sake of this video, I'll pick shooting specialization, because I did say we're going to go shooting specialization, right? So I'm going to go shooting specialization. You see I have both of my cap breakers already for this build. So now instead of 8 cap breakers, wait, let me back out. Did it reset? Okay, it didn't reset, but 8 cap breakers, I should have 10 cap breakers, because I have my 2 shooting specialization cap breakers. As you guys can see here, I got this one for gold 8, and then I got that cap breaker for gold 6. I don't know, maybe the game takes a little longer. All right, there it goes. Now finally loaded. So 10 cap breakers available, 8 regular cap breakers, 2 shooting specialization cap breakers. For our full potential for this build, you can always +5 for your drive and layup, get that up to an 85. You can +5 to your drive and dunk, and that is what, 4, 4, 3, 3, 94 drive and dunk. Midi, you can get up to a 96. We would throw a +1. I told you that's why I went 92, because we could throw a +1 from shooting specialization and get 93 for that gold limitless range. For our pass accuracy, you could +5 and get 88 pass accuracy. You could +4 for ball handle to get 90 for handles for days. You can +5 your speed with ball, so you could get a 91 speed with ball for Hall of Fame lightning launch. You could +5 your perimeter. This is what, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. You can get up to an 88 perimeter with +5, and then with your steal, what's that, 5, 4, 4, It's 9 plus 3, 2 is 5. You could get up to a 91 steal if you plus 5 your steal. Obviously plus 3 for your block, 63. 73 obviously for your interior defense if you choose to max that out, and then for your speed, plus 5 for 91 speed, plus 5, wait no, plus 5 for 2, 4, 3, 7, so 92 agility, 91 speed, 74 strength, and then plus 5, let's see, 4, 11, 14, so 86 vertical. So plus 5, you see the different things that you can get on this build. So with cap breakers, you can get up to a 94 driving down, 85 layup, 86 vertical, 88 perimeter, 91 steal, 90 ball handle, 88 pass accuracy, 96 midi, 93 three ball. You can do a lot when you have the cap breakers to, you know, flesh out this build a little bit more and make it a little bit better. But as always, this has been your boy Swiftly. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more NBA 2K26 content. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.